A Bitcoin bear has made a massive price prediction for Bitcoin and is a huge bet with over $500 million at stake shorting the Bitcoin markets right now. Just so you know, we're a little under $1,000 away from his short position being liquidated though. So is this a sign of a great upside coming or downside coming? And what could be going on with this whale in his line of thinking? Big news, though, for SUI holders, as SUI is the latest cryptocurrency to get a ETF filing. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. Some bullish, some bearish, a lot of chaos going in right now. You found the right channel to tune into. Make sure if you enjoyed today's show to smash that like button and hit subscribe. But first, we got to roll an intro. Welcome, all of you beautiful people. Welcome to the Investing Bros live show. It's going to be a good one here today. T-Shroom is on vacation up in Tennessee having some fun, so he is going to be out all of today, but I am joined by the one, the only, the amazing Smay the Turtle. Smay, how are we doing today?
I'm not a turtle, Tim. I'm a person.
The Smay Turtle. The Turtle Smay. Listen. Some of your fans know you as a turtle.
I am not the turtle. I am the Turtle King and the King of Turtles. I've still been a human this whole time. Tim, come on.
Fair.
Guys, everybody, I want you with me. Raise your fidgets in the air because we're about to get into crypto talk. It's going to be the best.
Yeah.
The best. All right, Tim, what you got for us?
We got a lot to go through. No T-Shroom, but we do have news to get through. But first, I want to give a shout out to Zach Frey. Said, yo, what's up, Tim? First time in stream, follower on Twitter. Good to see you in here, Zach. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Dimitri asking, are we going to get a move to 90K before the last drop? Well, you guys know I've been talking about a lot of levels here recently. We're going to cover all of that here in just a couple minutes. That is the question. Is 74 still on the table? 74K. Is 90K coming before that? What does this recent move from a Bitcoin whale shorting the market with over $500 million, what does that mean for the price direction of Bitcoin? Stick around. Let's get into the news here for a second. Before we get into anything negative, let's start with some good news. Let's get some positivity coming in right now to get the show going. Watchdog Guru reporting that Justin Kramer, this is, by the way, I think like 17 hours ago or something, Jim Cramer says the market is preparing to give up some gains. So got a nice pump-a-mental right there from good old Jim Cramer, the classic misdirecting indicator. Put a 1 in chat if you guys have ever used Jim Cramer to trade the market simply by doing the opposite of what he says. Bulls are loving it. Let's get some more good news. ETFs turning positive after 17 days of straight outflows. I'm not going to go into the details of this picture, but in it shows for weeks now, ETFs had been losing money. Everyone kept saying BlackRock was selling. Well, BlackRock wasn't selling. Their holders were selling. But 17 days in a row of outflows have turned. We now are getting more people coming in. Does that mean the bottom is in? Well, not so fast, but it's a good sign that we might be heading back in the right direction. Some other news, and this one we're kind of going to start transitioning into the weirdness of today's news. Justin, Binance announces 0% trading fees on Binance Wallet until September. Now, this is a bullish thing in the sense of more and more people will want to trade on Binance, but remember what we're talking about here is 0% trading fees in Binance, which means people might be stupid and go more heavy leverage. Anytime you have heavy leverage positions, you got to look for some misdirections. In this case, if they end up going into long positions, well, that could bring some further manipulation to continue to liquidate them out. So this is a good thing. It should be bullish, but don't be surprised if this comes with more chaos in the markets throughout all summer as, yes, on Binance, if you guys can trade it, us Americans cannot. At least right now, you can trade with 0% trading fees over there on Binance Wallet. It should be fun to watch how that progresses over the next 6-7 months here. Other news coming in, but despite Bitcoin going up, the hyper-liquid whale, here's our main story here. The hyper-liquid whale still holds $520 million of a short position on Bitcoin. Liquidation price is at $85,591. Will he be liquidated? Right now, at the time of shooting this, it's at 84,520, right? So that's going to put us, again, just a little under $1,000 away from that liquidity. Last night, he almost got liquidated when Bitcoin did briefly make its way above 85,000 to about 85,400. But this is going to be the interesting detail to keep an eye on. Where is it? There we go. Will this whale, we're going to talk more about this in a couple of minutes, so I'm just going to bring it to your attention, but what is this whale's motivations? Is this a smart whale? Does he know something the rest of us don't know? Is this a misdirection? Either way, we are leaning more towards him being liquidated than we are him being successful in this massive short position. More on that in just the next couple of minutes. Let's get into another big bullish story. Standard Chartered. Have you ever heard of them? They're a big company. They talk a lot of crypto. They are predicting Bitcoin price will hit $500,000 driven by Trump's crypto reserve. The details down in the comments of this article says that they have shifted their strategy from sell into rallies to buy into dips, right? So they're buying right now. They're suggesting people should buy. This approach aligns with their estimate of a gradual price increase reaching 200,000 by the end of 2025. 300,000 by the end of 2026 and 500,000 by the end of 2028. Is there a bear market within that time frame? Is this going to be something that I've talked about before, potentially elongated bull market? The 4-year cycle, is it dead? Is it not? Either way, they're kind of predicting, unless they're saying there's going to be a mini bear market in there around 2027. I guess they did leave 2027 off. 200,000 by 2025, 300,000 by 2026. Are they saying that maybe sometime 2026, 2027, we have a mini bear market and then shoot up in 2028 to 500,000? I don't know. Either way, they are very bullish on Bitcoin. Not so much, though, on the other cryptocurrency up there at the top of the list. Ethereum just in from Watchdog Guru. Standard Chartered Bank cuts their Ethereum year-end price target by 60% from $10,000 to $4,000. Well, that's quite a massive cut right there. Some of you might be saying, man, I would love for Ethereum to get back up to $4,000 just so I could sell it once and for all. What do you guys think here? What do you guys think about Standard Charter's Bitcoin and Ethereum thoughts? Are they too bullish on Bitcoin? Are they too bullish on Ethereum? Or are they getting these just right? Let me know in the comments section. Last story coming in here. Canary Capital files for an S1 for spot SUI ETF. SUI is the newest cryptocurrency that is, at this point, with the lack of resistance in the United States government, I would put a very high likelihood on any cryptocurrency that has had a filing, an S1 filing for an ETF. I'd put a very high likelihood they will get approved. So this could be massive for SUI. It is one of the top movers of the day. But with that said, let's check in on a couple other details, and then we will jump into the charts. If you guys love the news section, make sure to smash that like button. Now, you guys know I'm a big fan of the alternative.me fear and greed index for Bitcoin, right? Coming in today at 32, okay? Still in the fear, but higher considerably than where we have been more recently. It's back out. Yesterday, we were at 30. Last week, we were at 20. And some people might be saying, Tim, I've seen other numbers about the Bitcoin or the crypto fear in greed index. For example, if you were to go over to CoinMarketCap and look at CoinMarketCap's fear and greed index, it's coming in today. If I can click on this, there we go. It's coming in at 22. Last couple of days, it actually made its way all the way down to 15, I think is the lowest it got. Just so you guys are clear about how these fear and greed index work. The crypto fear and greed index over here, or the Bitcoin fear and greed index from alternative.me, is just that. It is a Bitcoin fear and greed index. It is heavily weighting how Bitcoin holders, traders, and enthusiasts are feeling. It's very transparent with the type of sentiment, the flow of money, the social media presence. It's very clear and straightforward about how they get their metric. They're putting us in fear, but definitely ticking back up away from the extreme fear we've seen more recently. And they're really only considering Bitcoin. When you look at CoinMarketCap, this is not the Bitcoin fear and greed index. This is the crypto fear and greed index. So a lot more weighted towards altcoins in general. What does this tell me? It tells me that Bitcoin holders, as much as they're still in fear, are a lot more confident than altcoin holders. And that, if you actually start to do some logical twisting and thinking, would be bullish for altcoins. Maybe that altcoin season on its way sooner than you would think, because altcoin holders, they're nowhere near as confident as the Bitcoin holders, but we're still going to monitor this as it comes out. Long story short, you buy in the fear, you sell in the greed. It's not time to sell just yet, but we need to keep an eye on these numbers as Bitcoin climbs. And I do think that a climb is still on the horizon. As these numbers climb, do we have a potential sell-off coming very, very soon? It is time now to transition into the charts. We're talking about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about SUI. We're going to have a lot of time today to do Q&A and talk with you guys. So make sure you're very active in chat today. Who knows? Maybe it's a shorter show. Maybe it's a longer show. Ultimately, you guys will decide by you guys sticking around, asking questions, and we'll see how everything goes there. Anyway, Bitcoin, again, flirting back above 84,000. It's a bullish day today after starting out way down here at 82.5. We have made our way back up to flirting with $85,000. Where am I sitting right now with the whole Bitcoin movement? Well, if you guys are newer to the channel, if you have not been watching my analysis on Bitcoin and the crypto space, you guys will know I'm not necessarily convinced just yet that the bottom is in. I would like for it to be. There are signs that it could be. What we just saw here back at 76,000 could have been the bottom. But there's still some signs on larger time frames like the 2-weekly chart, for example, that we might still have a little further to go back down here towards $74,000. Yes, we might need to come down and tap that high we had from back in March of 2024. My big reason for this is because of the Lux Algo Oscillator. You guys know that I use this every single day. It is the greatest trading indicator the market has out there. If you want to not only get an amazing indicator, get 25% off, or 20% off, I think you can use our link, and get access to our VIP trading group, make sure you go buy Lux Algo today. This 2-weekly signal still has that sell signal, the one I love, the red reversal, bearish divergence, that gray dot's bearish momentum, and money flow flowing out. What does this mean? It means that same time frame's smart trail should be tapped, and that smart trail coming in on the high end, $74,000, okay? So I have not yet ruled out 74,000 whatsoever. Right on cue, we got our super chat, our daily super chat from Davey Cakes saying that, hi, new guys, 75K to 240, 120K in May. He's been talking about a 75K Bitcoin for how long now, Davey Cakes? I think you've been tweeting, messaging that in our super chats for a month and a half, 2 months maybe. This guy has been, he saw some of those signs even before I did. So shout out to Davey Cakes. I think 74 is still something absolutely people should be paying attention to. The reason why I'm holding off, though, on saying that that's going to happen just yet is because that same indicator, the same technical analysis on the 2-weekly chart that says we need to go down, we're seeing the daily chart and the 2-daily chart both still saying we need to go up. We have a buy signal, green reversal, bullish momentum, all that flow of positive money flow. That's on the daily. If I switch to the 2-daily, same thing over here, green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow. And when you come and look at that 2-daily chart, that smart trail, that red smart trail, because this is a bullish buy signal, is still saying 92,000 could be on the table. Now, I'm tracking this right in the same area as this red resistance pattern, this red falling line right there. Let me zoom out here for a second. Oh, part of a long-term bullish formation, but don't be surprised. Do not be surprised if there is some sort of shoot up for Bitcoin, only to get your hopes up once again, bring the markets back down to come down and touch our $74,000, $73,000, maybe later on in March, maybe early April. But that is still the way I see the markets going at this point. If we want to talk more about that, a small aspect of the chart, we can talk more about that later. Make sure to get in chat to ask all the questions you want. But with that said, that is our trajectory at the moment. We're still leaning towards a rally here up above 90K, followed by a pullback once again to 74. And then we got to decide, is the bottom actually in? That is what we're tracking here at the moment. On the short term, though, again, we're flirting with some liquidity. I told you guys earlier, if you're just joining, there's a massive short on Bitcoin right now. A whale has over $500 million in volume pressuring the markets to the downside. Here's the deal, though. Is this genuine? Is this bear actually genuine? A lot of times people will see something like that, and I think I see all over the internet, people are asking, what does this guy know the rest of us don't know? I mean, he has, I think it's a total of like almost $10 million on 40X short position, right? So he's not actually betting with $500 million of his own money, but when you take his money and you 40X it, he is shorting the crap out of the market. Is he doing this to be smart? Well, we do know, again, as the price continues to move up, people are targeting his levels. Again, 85.5 is going to be some of his liquidations. I bet you this little level right in here, this green line, that's probably a lot of him. right in that level. We are pushing back up towards it. This is a very common thing. Anytime there's high levels of trades, over leveraged positions, they almost become like these targets for other traders to go after and to get rid of. Well, if that happens, we could reject right there. But again, as I showed you the other time frames, I think we can just shoot up to the upside. In which case, I want to kind of throw out a theory for you guys. You know, in the world of investing, sometimes people with a lot of money will operate very stupidly for a long-term brilliant play out, right? We don't have any idea who's doing these shorting. I think there's rumors out there that it's Barron Trump, which I think is the silliest rumor out there. But whoever this person is, are they either ridiculously stupid in this over-leveraged position and are about to get liquidated, losing $8 million at least, probably pushing $10 million, right? Or is this a part of a manipulation movement that is actually brilliant? Does this whale, because they're a whale, right? Even if they're dumb, they're a whale. Are they potentially playing with people's emotions, putting this position out there, encouraging others to join them in a short only because they also know that they have a hedge position where they're longing Bitcoin with several other accounts. And when that money gets liquidated, the gains that they will make will way outweigh the losses from that short position. A lot of times in the world of investing, you have to be aware that the more money someone has, the more influence they have over the markets. And sometimes they do this little game that's like, hey guys, watch my left hand. Don't pay attention to what the right hand's doing over here. Don't worry about that. Just watch the left hand. And all the while, they're playing chess while the rest of the markets are playing checkers. We don't know. We don't know what exactly is going on here, but it is looking increasingly likely that his position is liquidated here today, maybe sometime early tomorrow. All signs are showing the price is going to get up above that 85,500. Is this classic manipulation? You know, we were talking about in our planning meeting. We're going to go back to the charts here in a second. But people like to pay attention to news and break down what that news means and misunderstand that everything comes in its own timing. For example, if you ever see headlines that say that there's a massive amount of money being removed from exchanges, right? People are taking their money off exchange, they're moving into cold wallets or somewhere else. A lot of times that can be bullish information, right? They're not wanting to keep that money anywhere near being liquidated. They want to move it into cold storage. It's a vote of confidence. And other times we see a massive story of people saying, all right, there's a lot of money coming onto exchanges. Are whales preparing to dump the markets? If it's moving on exchange, they're preparing to sell. Well, how many times, put a 1 in chat if this has happened to you or you've experienced this. I know it's happened to me several times. How many times has a massive article come out saying that whales are taking money off exchanges, leading everyone to be very bullish and buy, only to watch the price action dip to the downside? Why? Because those whales know that their exchanges are being watched, and they know they can mess with people by, look at my left hand so you don't see what my right hand is doing. Vice versa, I've seen lots of times where there's a massive inflow into exchanges and everyone's convinced themselves that the markets are about to sell off, only for the markets to then go on some sort of a rally. I'm saying all this, we don't know what this whale is doing, this $500 million short whale. Like, maybe they're just dumb. Maybe they just went all in with money. Maybe this weekend he got a new girlfriend and he wants to impress his girlfriend with his $8 to $10 million short. Maybe it's that simple. Or it could be a little bit of 3D chess. And this could be a gotcha situation. I just want you guys to be prepared. Don't look at these articles and just go all in one direction or the other. Ask yourself why. Make sure to continue to watch the charts and the details of what's happening on the technical analysis, the fundamental analysis, what's happening else in the news. You should never be making trades based off of one piece of information itself. You always need to take it all into consideration. So that's what we're watching right now. We'll let you know throughout the show if Bitcoin does make a move as we're closing out the show to liquidate that position, or if it makes a massive drop, we will be paying attention to it. But keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. Real quickly, B-Ball Golf said, why does Tim's hat look different today? It's almost like it's a new hat, because it is a new hat. Yep, I had a dirty hat. Very old hat. Thank you for that, Smay. Thank you. Thank you for the applause. Yeah, I told Crux it was time for me to get a new hat. By the way, if you guys want to get one of these hats, just by joining our Super Bros membership level, they're the only people that have these hats. We don't sell these hats. We are going to start doing some giveaways with them in the future. But there's two ways. Either one, you get really, really lucky and we do a giveaway, or number two, you join that Super Bros VIP suite. Everybody in that group gets a free hat. Even if you just want to do 1 month, right? Just so you do 1 month and $100 donation to the Bros, just saying, I just want the hat. You get the hat. and a audit for your portfolio. And you get a whole month's access to our trading group. So it's a lot of cool stuff in there. Go get the hat today. Tampa Typhoon said, when are you coming to Florida? I'm going to be moving April 10th, right? I will not be on the show April 10th or April 11th because that will be moving days. I think it's a Wednesday and a Thursday in like 3 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, something like that. I think 3 weeks from now. That's when I'm moving to Tampa. Last question here. We're going to get into some SUI technical analysis, and then we'll do some Q&A. The drop from January to March was the tariffs. The drops fast was because he changed the amount. Unless he increases something, it won't drop more. Steady bug with it. So steady bug, clarify for me. One of our resident bears, and I know we talk back and forth. Sometimes he comes in chat and he kind of speaks a little bit more bearish than he actually is. But genuinely, are you saying right now, steady bug, do you think that the bottom is in? Do you think 74K is too low? I would love to know that perspective. By the way, in case you guys are wondering, let's go back to my Bitcoin chart here for a second as we get back in, and then we're going to go take a look at the SUI chart and other altcoins here as well. My conditions, if you guys have not been watching and how I do this, I'm done trying to be perfect. Not that I really ever tried to be perfect with my analysis. It's very hard to be perfect. Unless you guys have a crystal ball, nobody knows 100% when or what is going to happen to any asset's price. Now, you can use charts and news and other tools to get an idea and get a higher probability, but I'm really trying to move forward with a lot of if-then statements. So earlier in the show, if you guys were here the whole time, I just talked about I still believe that we're going to see Bitcoin make its way back up over 90K before I still think 74K could be on the table. These are all if-then statements. Pretty much, if nothing changes from here on out, like if we don't get any major news story, my expectation is 90K to 74K. All right. If Bitcoin surprises me and makes a move back up here above 90K and then above 95K, ultimately, my level point, I will change my opinion. If we get back above 100K, well, forget 74K. That would be my confirmation. Not 100%, but my high likelihood probability that if we get back above 100K on Bitcoin, more than likely the bottom is in and it's over. But anything below that, whether we only make it to 90, whether we go a little bit above and have a fake out up towards 95, if we can't reconquer 100K, I still think that 2-weekly chart, I just showed you guys, that 2-weekly smart trail, 2-weekly chart smart trail. Wow. It's harder to say than you would think. That still is something to be keeping an eye on. We have a sell signal on this, and if you go back historically, I've not found a historical moment where the 2-weekly sell signal does not bring us back to the smart trail. I saw it happen right back in here last summer in March of 2024. I saw it happen way back in previous bear markets. We had two of them, 2021, November 2021, we had one. April of 2021, we had one. Look at this. Both times we came down into smart trail. Now, a bear market, we went below. Bull market, you bounce and keep going up, right? Last summer, bounce, keep going up. But the fact is that when you get these sell signals, this is one of the most accurate indicators I have ever found doing technical analysis. It is suggesting 74K is a level that should be hit. Doesn't mean 100%. There's always a first time for everything. This could be it. Like this could be the first time a sell signal on the 2-weekly chart does not hit for Bitcoin. But this is all about probability and making sure you're investing your money wisely based on probabilities. It's not probable to miss. It's just possible. In the world of probable and possible, I invest based off the probable. Okay. We got a super chat here from John Foster saying, check out SERO on the daily, hoping to break out of this downtrend. Let's definitely get a look at that here in a little bit. We are going to go take a look at SUI, because SUI does have a story today. It's one of the bigger movers on the markets, although Ondo as well is performing very, very well today. We might take a look at Ondo here too. But let's go take a look at the news story first, and then we'll get into here. This is broken all over the place. I liked the way Cryptos R Us, shout out to Cryptos R Us, friend of the channel. I like his pictures, right? So that's ultimately, everyone likes to just see things that are cool looking and pretty looking. I liked it. It was very bright blue SUI. But Justin, Canary Capital files for an S1 spot SUI ETF. Why is this a big news? Because in today's day and age in the crypto markets, with a favorable SEC and a favorable CFTC and a favorable government in general leading towards lesser and lesser regulations that hurt crypto, this isn't official. It's not a done deal. Technically, something could happen to stop it. But I put this at a very high likelihood that SUI, anything that's filing for an ETF, I just picture someone in Washington with a massive approval stamp just coming through. Approved, 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 approved. SUI more than likely will be approved for an ETF. When? Maybe later this year, maybe beginning of 2026. Either way, it is coming. Let's take a look at what the SUI chart is doing. Now, remember, we talked about that 2-weekly sell signal on Bitcoin coming down on the smart trail. Well, we had that happen on SUI. We had the sell signal back in here. We have now bounced. Does that mean the bottom's in for certain? Not necessarily, but it does give you a sign that SUI is more oversold than Bitcoin, so therefore probably more likely to have already put a bottom in than Bitcoin even itself. Yeah, Dave Flower says, just stop saying it. We've had enough pain. I hear you. A lot of people have pain here. Let's check in on what SUI is looking like here today. We were talking about it, actually put a trade set up in our VIP trading group today. So if you're one of our VIP traders, go check it out. I think we've already activated it. I think we already hit the levels. Maybe I'll look at this and kind of give you guys a fresh, hey, if I haven't jumped in yet, where would I look to jump in? Either way, on this daily chart, we're going to come back to this Lux Algo buy signal. When we don't have these buy signals, I find other ways to trade. But anytime I can get this buy signal on Lux Algo, to me, this is so simple. I trade these. It's more than 90% win rates when using this strategy. It is the best. Green reversal, bullish divergence. I don't even need the bullish divergence. That's just kind of there for added. Oh, thank you very much. We're going to go up. Green momentum, positive money flow. Okay. All of these very bullish. When I get those three, I always take a look. Where is the smart trail on this coin? There, sure enough, it is up here. That's what I'm looking. These things I always like to go back and back test and say, all right, is this a good time frame? Is this going to be good here? We did have a buy signal back in here on February 11th, right? Let's go take a look at that. What happened there? A previous buy signal before there. None of those are buy signals because none of them have all three going in the right direction. I'm going to have a buy signal right in here. Okay. And I'm going to have a buy signal right in here. Okay. We're not going to do like 20 of them. I just want to show you recently, in recent bias times, how has SUI responded on this daily chart to this buy signal. Okay. So all these vertical white lines are what we're looking at. Guess what? Right here, buy signal came in, boom, touch that smart trail. Success. Back here, buy signal comes in, took a little bit of volatility, but boom, we actually end up going through the smart trail. That's a success. And then, of course, right back here, we get the buy signal, boom, hit the smart trail. So the last 3 times we've had a daily buy signal, it has worked. And I could do the same thing with the 2 daily chart. I don't really need to, but the 2 daily chart is literally, Bitcoin already has a buy signal. SUI about to get one. We got the green reversal. We got the bullish momentum. And in here, this money flow, it's not positive just yet, right? So I'm not ready to say for certain it's going to go up, but SUI, with that money flow now going sideways, with this bubble right here of excessive sellers flattening off and leaving, I do believe we're a couple of days away, maybe 1 day away from getting our official 2 daily buy signal. That, instead of the daily, I don't think I told you the target. The daily target is coming up here at 279, right back to some resistance. If that 2 daily can flash, we're talking about over $3 again, back up here towards 318, 320. Okay. Could something come in and change? I see someone in chat saying the evil words, black swan incoming, question mark. You can never predict black swans. Let's just start there. So anything that we can say, oh, is that going to be a black swan? It just canceled itself out. If you can predict something coming, it is not a black swan. You might have something that's not a highly predicted thing that ends up happening that no one thought was going to happen, but it's still not a black swan. Black swans are when something no one was prepared for, no one saw coming, happens, and all of a sudden, boom, the price crashes, right? I do think when I look at the history of these moves and what we're watching kind of play out, it would take a black swan event for some of these bullish projections I'm making on the short term to fail to come true. Doesn't mean the bottom's in for these coins. It just means we're in this little situation where we're bullish once again. If you go back and let's look at Bitcoin again, for example, if you go back to last summer and even so far, in this pullback, you guys can see between March and September, Bitcoin ranged sideways and downwards. In fact, during this time frame, Bitcoin would fall over 30%, 33%. Well, does that mean it all went straight down? No, you saw lots of down, then up, then down, then up, then down, then up, then down, then up. Well, recently, the crypto markets as a whole have made a big downswing. So all we're talking about right now is we're not pretending. If anyone's coming on here and saying, man, Tim's just this crazy perma bull, I'm not doing anything about perma bull. I'm looking at cryptos. I'm looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, SUI, Cardano. they've all made a major downswing here recently. And part of bear trends is lower highs and lower lows. We're seeing the signs on the daily and 2 daily saying, hey guys, we're about to make a move back to the upside. What we do when we hit those targets, let's go back to SUI here, for example, and let's go to the 2 daily chart. Let's pull up that smart trail, right? Right now, we are seeing there's a chance that SUI could make its way all the way back up to, and I think it's a pretty good chance based off the buy signal, it could make its way all the way back up here above $3. But let's just pause for a second. Let's say it does that. We keel over and come back down. Let's just say we have a little regrouping. Well, is this a bullish chart? No, it's not. Let's actually make it a little straighter. Let's make it so it looks a little better. Let's pretend we get one of these bad boys, and we come back down. We get a little bounce right here. What's next, right? If we're looking at the price action, like what happens next? Well, I'm looking at this, and I'm saying, despite the fact that we broke a nice level of resistance, we're not necessarily in a bull trend yet. We're not in a higher high and higher low situation. We're still in lower highs and lower lows. This easily could come down and hit a new low. This easily could come down here and hit $1.54. Not that I think that's going to happen, but the possibility is still there. It's when SUI breaks above these resistance levels, right? Maybe gets a move like that and starts putting in higher highs and higher lows. That's when we can start talking about the $20 SUI price prediction, the $50 SUI price prediction. Some of you guys know I'm very bullish on the bull market. I'm very bullish on the bull market not being over. I think that crypto has a long way to go to the upside. But that's all for the future. I'm aware we're in a downtrend. I'm aware that the bottom could be in or it could go a little lower. I don't know what's going to happen there. But I know the key levels of support to keep an eye on, and I know the key levels of resistance that we need to break through so the bulls can reclaim their stronghold on the entire market. And I just want to make sure I'm clear here, in case anyone came in and said, Tim's predicting Bitcoin to 90K and SUI back up to $3. Does that mean the bull market's back on and new all-time highs are coming soon? Not necessarily. These all are levels that can be hit, and then we come back down to set another low. We have to wait to see how it happens, and we got to take what the markets give us until it shows us something is different. So that's some good news short-term for SUI. Very good long news for SUI with this ETF filing. But if you guys are thinking, when is SUI going to hit $20, $50? Be patient. It's not right just yet. We'll let you know when we're on our way, when it's time to be on our way. With that said, make sure everybody smash that like. I, though, will save. We can do it. We get to 500 likes. There's 940 of you guys, a little bit less viewers than normal here. I think people are tired of the markets. They want to see explosive movement again. Guess what? That's bullish. Less people watching crypto YouTube. I see that as a very bullish sign. So for all you guys who are watching here today, all 940 of you, bullish for you. All the people on X, almost 200 of you, bullish for you. You're staying locked in when others are disengaging. A lot of times the viewership dipping on any YouTube crypto channel, not just ours, others people's as well, it can be a sign that people are leaving. And when people leave and there's blood in the streets, the institutions and the whales, they buy up that dip. They buy up that boredom, and that's when new bull markets start. So good for you guys. Smash that like button. Of course, right as I say that, 1,000 of you are now in here. So now that means the bear market's back on. Some of you guys leave so we can – just kidding. Don't go anywhere. You guys can smash the like button. 500 likes, and we will do a live trade setup of your guys' choice. But before that, let's take a look at some Q&A here. We did have that super chat asking to check out SERO on the daily, hoping to break out of the downtrend. Let's take a look at SERO here. I'm going to find it on my charts. While I do that, I also need to get a sip of water. Smay, how are you doing today? Anything fun you want to say to the people before I do some SERO TA?
Sure, Tim. Why don't you go ahead and take a sip? Guys, all right, Tim, how was that sip?
Thank you for that, Smay. All right, let's go ahead and get back into the charts. All right. By the way, if you guys are wondering where the heck is T-Shroom, T-Shroom's on vacation. He'll be back Wednesday for the FOMC meeting. We didn't talk about that. Also, by the way, we will be live for FOMC meeting. Come back. We always go live at about 1:50 on Wednesdays of the FOMC meetings. It's going to be fun. They're going to keep rates paused. We're not really concerned about the rate cuts or anything. They're just not going to do it. The question is, what do they talk about? We might even talk about that here in a little bit. SERO. All right, so we had a support level drawn. It might be time to mess with some lines. Sometimes you draw lines that made sense at one point, and then later it's like, okay, we need to critique these a little bit. Right? If I were to back this up and go back to this date back here, what is this? February 23rd. That's a good looking support and resistance line, isn't it? Right? That green line, that downtrending of support, that red line, that downtrending of resistance, a good falling wedge pattern, a very bullish pattern that just needs to wait for a bullish breakout. But since then, we lost that green line. We kind of flirted with it. Well, to be fair, there we go. We lost it. And now we're kind of hovering back and forth. Will we regain it? Will we lose it? I'm going to keep it drawn there for a while, but it's a very confusing line right now on Aerodrome. That being said, fundamentally, Aerodrome is a good project. From a technical analysis standpoint, there's two ways of looking at what I'm going to say here. Oh, look, T-Shroom's in chat. Just smash the like button. From a roller coaster. I can't do roller coasters. I got vertigo in my right ear from football. Senior year of football, got speared in the side of the ear in my last game, and I got vertigo. If you guys know what vertigo is, say vertigo in chat. It sucks. Can't do roller coasters, but shout out to T-Shroom and his roller coaster life. The charts, there's two ways of looking at this when you're looking at Aerodrome. Do you want to be a pessimist? Do you want to give a good reason to say Aerodrome's not doing well, right? We're back down to the lows we had in September of 2024, those same lows we had back here in July of 2024. This has just been obliterated, right? Blood in the streets. Not as much as other coins. Some coins are the lowest point we've seen since like 2023 or 2022, right? So Aero's not the worst chart I've ever seen, but it's not necessarily a chart with overwhelming higher highs and higher lows. In fact, what it did was it double topped the highs from March of 2024, and now it's back down to the lows of the summer of 2024, okay? That's not a strong chart. I'm going to come back to it, but for example, if you looked at a chart like, I think Aave, higher highs and higher lows still. If you go take a look at other, coins that we talk about all the time, Bitcoin, zoom out here, higher highs, higher lows. You take a look at Chainlink, higher highs, higher lows, right? We got higher in December than March. We're still higher than the lows of last summer. You look at Ondo, higher highs, higher lows. Cardano, higher highs, higher lows. Does Arrow have the higher high, higher low thing going on? No. It now has a double top and then potentially a double, maybe call it a triple bottom. I don't know. But you're not going to call this a sign of overwhelming confidence. But if you're a contrarian trader, you can say, well, whenever a coin has more blood and the momentum traders want to stay away from it, that could be the best opportunity for us contrarians, people that like to buy the blood and sell the euphoria. That could be the best time for us to go ahead and enter in. I can just go ahead and tell you this is going to be a strong level of support from a historical standpoint, where you're going to have this major order block in this camp from last summer. I probably, if I come in down here and look at liquidations, let's turn on my liquidations chart and see what's going on there. Not enough information on the daily. Let's go to, massive liquidations down there. Let's go to 4 hour maybe. It's going to give me some more information. Not enough, but massive liquidations right in this area. It's showing if short-term trades, there's not a lot of incentives to go much lower than where we currently are. We've kind of hit a local bottom that's like, it's decision time. Do we want to be bullish? Probably going to make a push to the upside then. Do we want to be bearish and have some problems? We could technically go a little bit lower. How much lower? I would put the wicks from back here, June of 24. Keep an eye around 40 cents, give or take, would be a next bottom point I would look for. Either way, though, I'm going to assume that like the rest of the space, though, as we zoom back in, I'm going to assume that Arrow is going to be getting these buy signals just like everybody else. Sure enough, let's zoom in here. Green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow, excessive sellers. They tried several times in here. A lot of swings. Finally, it looks like they are gone. What does this mean? Short-term price action. It means we could be making our way back up to the smart trail because that smart trail is trailing right there along that resistance level back up here towards 67 cents. What's the 2 daily saying? We're close. The money flow is not there yet, okay? Green reversal, bullish momentum, but when you zoom in, see the money flow is technically flowing out. Let's get some positive money flow on the 2 daily chart, and all of a sudden, we got a break above. We're talking about coming up here to 83 cents, okay? These are all bullish levels. Got a nice fair value gap up here above that 80 cent level. Does it mean it's ready? Not necessarily, but again, daily chart, I'm not predicting a new bullish breakout. I'm not saying Arrow's going to, take off and hit all-time highs. I'm saying the daily chart is saying we're oversold. We're really low. A simple trade back up towards 60 to 65 cents, probably going to be a winning strategy for Arrow. If it fails, here's, I guess, the last thing I want to do here. Let's check on Arrow. I don't trade Arrow, right? I've been trading a lot of Bitcoin. I am tracking what coins I'm trading, the success rates of my strategies. It is what allows me to be a high win rate trader, okay? And these are things we teach in our VIP trading group. There are certain coins. I was looking at one earlier with our VIP trading group. what was it? I'm trying to remember the name. It was one that has a buy signal on the daily chart, but I looked at the chart and like the last 3 buy signals had failed. So I told them, I was like, listen, it's a saying buy signal. There's a lot of reasons to want to buy other than just my strategy, but that doesn't give me a lot of confidence when I look at the history of that chart. CRV, said Bedridden, CRV has a recent track record on the daily chart of failing their buy signals, okay? That means I don't trade CRV until it starts giving me some wins on those buy signals. I'm going to stay away from it. But that being said, let's check on Aerodrome. Let's check on the last couple of times. We got a technical buy signal. We'll kind of put some stuff in here. Here's what I'll say. I'm going to give this one a buy right here. Not every time you get a reversal or a bullish momentum do you have a buy signal. It's when you have all 3 and the kind of stars aligning, right? So this is a buy signal right here. I can tell you based off of what I'm seeing play out, I don't think this one hits, but it technically is a buy signal. And to be fair, so is this one right in here, okay? So these are buy signals I'm looking at. Let's check out some others, though. We could probably look at these sell signals. I guarantee you these sell signals hit perfectly. But to go back even further at previous buy signals, this is definitely a buy signal right here. Let's go one more right in here, okay? So I'm looking at some from back in the summer of 2024, fall of 2024, and then some that have hit here more recently. We're looking at 4 of them. How is the track record for the daily chart on Aerodrome? Uh-oh. Let's get rid of this one. All right. Failure. That's not good. That's not good at all. Let's about right here. Get a buy signal. Let's see if it wicks. It does not. Failure. So technically speaking, Aerodrome, even though it has a buy signal right now, and it's about to get a 2 daily buy signal, its last 2 buy signals on the daily chart failed. Now, if you go back to last summer, these ones were very successful, right? Clearly, both of them went above the smart trail, so they were more than successful. So it does happen from time to time, and eventually, one of these buy signals will hit. The problem is this going to be the 3rd failure in a row? Is this going to be where the trend breaks? If you're trading Aerodrome right now, longing it back to the upside, trade it cautiously. Understand the last 2 buy signals have failed, telling us just how strong the bears are, and until the bears lose, you have to assume that they're still squarely in control. Now, here's where the difference is going to be. I'll kind of show you this. Remember I said the two daily buy signal is very close. We're on the doorstep. Let's look at the last couple of times. We can only look at 2 of them. There's only been two buy signals on this chart because it's newer on the 2 daily on the 2 daily chart, right? We have one right here in September 2024, and we have one in July of 2024. Everything else here has been bearish. We had a very beautiful sell signal right here. Let's look at that one. So you guys can see the strategy in reverse. Nice sell signal right there, and then that's going to be it, right? So the arrow's new enough. You only have 3 strong signals here. That's not a sell signal because you can't have it when the money flow is still positive. All right, let's take a look here. Let's backtrack. All right, so the first one, let's go in here. Sell signal, red reversal, bearish momentum, negative money flow. Guess what? We not only went to the smart trail, we went below. There's a success sell signal. What about those buy signals? Buy signal, up, went above the smart trail, success. Buy signal up, went to the smart trail, success. What does that mean? While I don't have a lot of confidence on the daily chart, if this 2 daily buy signal officially prints and we get that positive money flow, there's no reason to think at this point that we should fail at getting back towards 80 cents. Does this mean I ignore stop losses and go all in with my portfolio on 100x leverage? Heck no. You always protect yourself with proper risk management. But my confidence in a 2 daily buy signal on Aerodrome absolutely outweighs my confidence of a daily chart. The daily chart, I actually feel unconfident. I would steer clear of it until I see that 2 daily buy signal. But once that happens, the bulls could be back. We could see the bottom confirmed in, and all of a sudden we're making higher highs and higher lows once again. There's our thoughts on Aerodrome. What else we want to talk about here, Smay? Anything you see in chat that you want to answer questions to?
Oh, Tim, everyone's just having a happy-go-lucky time. Some guys, bedridden. Sorry, some guy. We love bedridden. Why did I say that?
One of our mods, one of our best mods.
Bedridden just said CRV question mark.
Yeah, well, he was talking about the coin that I was doing earlier.
I know, I was just throwing that.
I see one, Ujin Sky. I don't know if it's Ujin or Ugin. Ujin's more fun to say than Ugin. Wouldn't you agree, Smay?
Yeah, it sounds very Japanese.
Maybe. Ujin Sky said rate cut likely in May. I don't know if it is likely in May. Let's take a look at some stuff here when it comes to those kind of predictions. Going back to my chart here, I think you're going to have to take off my face. Smay, I think this is one of the charts that Well, that's the opposite. What the heck is happening on my screen right there?
Tim, I have
Picture
no
of
idea
Tim
what
and-
just happened. So I'll try to fix that. Give me a second.
Do you need me to stop sharing and reshare? This is fun right there. Oh, look at this. There we
Everything
go.
got small out of nowhere. That's so
Listen.
dumb.
This happens when you click buttons crazily. Look at my little. Yeah, look at little Tim right there.
Yeah, don't worry about little Tim.
Is that live, little Tim? It is live,
Yeah.
little Tim.
Hey, how about just little Tim?
All right, little Tim. All
Yeah,
right, guys.
go for it.
Welcome to the portion of the show called Lil Tim. All right, there's a 1% chance of rate cuts tomorrow, according to CME futures. 99% are saying that tomorrow we're going to get a pause in rate. That's what's significant about tomorrow is not rate cuts. It is going to be discussion about what it looks like moving forward. Okay, if you go to Polymarket, I have to zoom in on some of these things. Let's go to the Fed decision in March, right? It's not going to be much different. 99% saying no change, 1%, less than 1% saying, less than 1% saying a 25% increase, and then 1% saying 25% decrease, okay? Not going to happen. Pretty much CME futures is like the institutions trying to predict what's going to happen. Polymarket is the people betting on what they think is going to happen. Let's go to May, though, because I saw someone in chat said, is May going to be cuts? Well, according to Tiny Tim's chart here, 80% of CME futures, again, institutional predictors, right? The companies kind of coming in and saying what's happening. 80% are saying, nah, we're going to stay at 425 to 450. About 20%, roughly you're saying 25 to 50% base points. So yes, a little bit of traction there, but not a lot. People, I believe, are a little bit more bullish than that. If you click on the Fed rate decision in May, we're coming in 71% saying no change, 25% saying 25 basis point cut, right? So people are betting a little bit more bullishly, but as a whole, both are saying we're not getting cuts in May either. At this point, it is looking like June is going to be the top thought here, but this has changed. Earlier today, this said 23%, I think, for staying paused. So this is updated, guys, and it's going to keep changing. We got a long time till June, but now it's coming in 33.6% of the institutions are predicting no rate cut, okay? So that means 54 says 25, 11% says 50. We have a 67% chance is the prediction we cut by June. If you go back to the poly markets and how people are betting their hard-earned money, this is the everyday person like you and me, the Fed rate decision in June is sitting at 37% saying no change, 3% saying an increase, so that's 60%. So 60-40 on if we're going to have a rate cut by June. So that's the leading indicator, but as I said, this has shifted. What does this look like tomorrow? What does this look like on Wednesday when we actually hear from Jerome Powell and the Fed? It's not about, are we going to get a cut on Wednesday? Guys, we're not going to get a cut on Wednesday. It's about what does Jerome Powell and the Fed talk about? Have they shifted their eyeballs from looking at inflation and trying to get inflation down to 2%? Have they shifted it to the recent rising unemployment, or are they still looking at inflation? Right? Recently, in case you guys didn't know, inflation numbers have dropped. They have come down. At the same time, unemployment numbers have gone to the upside. There's a lot of speculation that Donald Trump and his administration, who desperately wants rate cuts, but Jerome Powell is saying, no, I'm not listening to you. I'm going to do what I think is best, regardless of what your opinion is. There's rumors that Trump and his team are trying to force the economy into a situation where Jerome Powell will cut rates. Either way, it will depend on what Jerome Powell says. And if you're sitting here thinking, well, Tim just said the highest probability is that we won't get rate cuts until June, so we won't pump again until June with good information. Well, that's not how this works. The markets always try to price in their expectations. So even if we don't get a rate cut in March, which we're not going to, and even if we're not going to get a rate cut in May, which again, at this point, we're not likely to, what will be big about Wednesday's FOMC meeting, the reason why you need to come watch it live, is in the press conference, does Powell continue to say things along the lines of, we believe the economy is in a good place, our main thoughts are still about inflation, we still want to get it down to 2%, we don't think unemployment's that big of a deal. If he says those things, that could be bearish for the price of all risky assets. Why? Because he means rate cuts are going to stay higher for longer. But he doesn't have to say rate cuts coming in May. He doesn't have to say rate cuts coming in June. In fact, he won't say specific timeframes. But if he comes out and says, it does look like the inflation numbers are looking good. We are, as a Fed, starting to look at the unemployment numbers. That is our main concern. If he just says we are shifting our attention from inflation to unemployment, You don't have to wait for the rate cuts, ladies and gentlemen. The markets will start buying in early because it looks like he's admitting rate cuts are coming soon. You want to know another thing I think is going to be very big, and we don't have any poly market details here, but going back to my screen, this is going to be a big deal here. This shifted from last week. Can we bring back Tiny Tim for a second, Smay? Little bitty Tiny Tim. There we go. Last week when we were looking at this, the highest probability of where we would be in December, according to the CME group, was the 350 to 375, or in other words, 3 rate cuts. We had like a 33 or 34% probability of 3 rate cuts. This is shifted right now, ladies and gentlemen. 33% are now saying only 2. And they're predicting those rate cuts at this point will come in June. And then the other one, they'll skip in July, and they'll have another rate cut in September. But then we'll hold off on October, and we'll hold off in December. Now, these can continue to change. But the reason it's important to look forward here is because it doesn't matter right this second to the markets what we're going to do. It matters what we think we're going to do. And right now, it's looking like we think we're going to get one in June, and we're going to think we're going to get one in September, but we're not going to get anything else. That's not going to be good. The market's going to start pricing in, okay, we'll only get 2 rate cuts. What does that mean? If we can get this to swing back, if Jerome Powell comes out dovish or soft saying it looks like we might cut rates soon, all of a sudden these numbers will change. The markets start to price in. The markets will go to the upside, and this will all be very, very bullish. But again, that's why you come to the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. Don't come just for rate cuts. Come for what does the future look like? How does the Fed feel at this moment? How do they view the economy? That will tell us, is it time to buy and have short-term pump, or is it time to sell because we're about to go back down to newer lows this cycle? That's why you got to be here. If Chan with the $2 super chat said, did anyone go see this new altcoin? Okay. Yeah. Read it before I read it. Read it out loud before I read it in person. We don't do things. You guys can read it. I have no idea what this is. Just to answer your question, if Chan. No, I've not seen it. No, I will not invest in it. I'm never going to be in case anyone's wondering, I'm never going to be a meme coin guy. I'm just never going to. Doesn't mean there's not a time and a place for meme coins. This is definitely not the time for meme coins. Can you look at Shadow Token? I don't think so, Big Arch and Money, but thank you for the super chat there. Sorry about that. I don't think we're going to be able to have time to look at that one today. I was talking with our team the other day. If you go back, and I'm not saying meme coins haven't pumped at all in between these times, but what are the biggest moments in history that meme coins have had just euphoric runs? January of 2025. March of 2024. October, November 2021. April, May 2021. Does anyone know what those 4 time frames have in common? Put it in chat before I say it. All 4 of those peak euphoria meme coin runs have marked the tops of minor bullish movement, or not minor bullish movements, but tops of local bullish movements. I'm not saying that the bull market's over because of that. What I'm saying is I don't trade meme coins. I don't plan on trading meme coins. But what you should know fundamentally is that when meme coins go nuts, what that has communicated is that the crypto rally is probably at least short-term coming to an end. Why? Well, have you guys ever seen that chart? And we've talked about it on this channel as well. Have you ever seen that chart that's like we go from Bitcoin season into Ethereum season into large cap season and then into other coin season? Forget the Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything else. Change the wording up completely. Money flows in crypto from legitimate to close to legitimate to big deal to crap coins, okay? Smart money gets their pump, followed by fundamental projects, right? So smart money is Bitcoin. The majority of people in crypto, our dominance is still over 60%. The majority of crypto money is Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumps first. It's the smartest money. Then the strong fundamentals pump. In 2021, Ethereum had the strong fundamentals. This cycle, Ethereum has not had a good pump because I don't think Ethereum has the strongest fundamentals. XRPs have pumped. Solanas have pumped. Cardano has pumped. AVAX has had its moments. Chainlink's had its moments. Ondo, SUI, these coins of the future with great fundamentals, they pump after Bitcoin. Then The hype coins would pump. Think of the AIs and the DPINs and the emerging technologies, right? The hype coins, like we're excited about what this could become. Then the money flows into the crap coins, the fart coin, the dog's brother sister coin, mommy, daddy. Like these things are absolutely ludicrous, absolutely stupid. By the way, I'm going to throw Trump and Melania in there as well. I pegged those early. If you guys remember here, I hated when those coins came out. I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world. They're stupid meme coins. If I'm offending somebody, I apologize, but they're stupid meme coins. Why, though? Smart money understands to be patient. Smart money understands that even though Bitcoin's not going to 10x from here in the next year and a half, they're safe and consistent money to make there. They make a move, okay? People who want to get rich fast, they stay away from projects like Bitcoin. Well, then they see Bitcoin pump and they say, well, what's the next thing that maybe can make me rich? Well, all of a sudden, the strong fundamental coins pump. And then a lot of retail misses out on that pump. They're like, oh, what's the next one? And they miss out the next one. The next one is the hype coins. Where does retail usually get in? They look at the pumps on the Bitcoins and the Ethereums and the Chainlinks and SUIs and Ondos, and then they look at the pumps on the renders and other things, and they say, well, I'm not going to make a lot of money there. Let me go into this fart coin where I can still make 50x, where I just saw an article, somebody made $2 million last week on a $300 investment. You wonder why the whole markets are a series of taking the money from the inpatient and giving it to the patient. It's because people want to get rich fast, and the only way they think they can do it by the end of a rally is through stupid meme coins, and they end up being exit liquidity. And then all the smart money says, "Thank you for your money, we're out," and they sell those tops right to the dumb retail, and we crash back down. So, if you guys are wondering what is going to be the sign of the next top, when is the next time to sell? Maybe you're in 60, 70, 80% loss right now on some of your altcoins. When's the next time to sell? Wait for memes to be a big deal. Breathe for about a week and a half, and then I bet you're going to be selling somewhere close to the top the next time that happens. Don't know why. That's just really how it goes. It would take a massive influx and pumping market for memes to get resurrected. They're 100% a wrap. That's the problem is don't think that the current meme coins you're holding are going to be the ones that make a move. It's going to be brand new ones, right? It's just a wave of new meme coins. And there'll be all the hype for about a month, and then they'll be done again. That's how it works. 88 says gaming as well. I would put gaming in the hype category, right? They're not going to be the strong fundamental group. It's going to be the Bitcoins and the strong fundamentals, and then the hype, and gaming can fall in that group. There's money to be made there. But this is why this is the thing, guys. The best times to buy are the times that nothing is happening, and you probably aren't going to see gains for a while, right? Once the move starts going, like it's not wise to be buying things after they've pumped 30, 40, 50%. Some of those altcoins, you still have a good way to the upside, but a lot of people, they jump in on the after big moves. They're momentum investors and traders. I like being a contrarian. I like buying things and being bullish on things when nobody else is bullish. I like selling when everybody is going nuts and bullish and going euphoric. To me, that's been my route to success in my investing journey so far. Not that I'm perfect. I definitely have held off on selling things when I should have, and I probably held off on buying things when I should have bought. I'm getting better at it every single time it happens. But that's just another thing to add to your bag of tools. When do I sell? I sell when meme coins are pumping. And I buy when no one wants to touch them with a 10-foot pole. All right. I see someone saying Ethereum TA. Come back tomorrow. We'll do some Ethereum TA tomorrow, or join the VIP trading group. We'll take a look at Ethereum anytime you guys want to take a look at that in our Q&A sections. But it's going to wrap out our show for today. Thank you, every single one of you, for being here. We did not get to 500 likes, I don't think. Let me refresh. Don't want to say we didn't. Yeah, we only got to 378. Come back tomorrow. 500 likes for a live trade up. Maybe we do a live trade setup for Ethereum if we get to 500 likes tomorrow. You got to be here to do it. Before we go, though, it is time to come with Smay. Back on stage. Smay, we got a factoid of the day today. What do you got for me, my friend?
Well, as Dizzy Gang says, win Smay TA, guys. And I just want to say, Smay TA, never coming. But you know what is happening is the free Discord link in the description. Check it out. All right, jumping into the factoid of the day, brought to you by Decrypted.tax. We were talking a lot about shorts today, so this one's about the history of shorts.
Ooh.
Tim, When was the first recorded short sale in stock trading history? Ooh. A.
Good.
1609, B. 1721, C. 1792, or D. 1857.
Yeah. Good question. All right, we're gonna go. No idea here, so we're gonna go with a little SAT. SAT knowledge here. Probably when you have dates like this and the numbers is probably not the highest or the lowest. It could be, but the probabilities would say it's not. So I'm going to limit it down to a 50-50 between B and C. 1721 to 1792. Not that I would imagine it happened in American economy anyway, but of course we're talking about pre-America and post-America. Well, let's go 92. Let's go C, 92.
92. All right.
Do I get hold on, real quick. Do I get bonuses if I guess which country did it?
Yeah.
France.
Okay. All right. And with that,
okay,
it was the first one.
1609.
It
What are the
was
details there? What?
1609. Well, Tim, I'm glad you asked. When was the first recorded short sale in stock trading history? 1609. The practice of short selling was likely invented in 1609 by Dutch businessman Isaac Le Maire, a sizable shareholder of the Dutch East India Company.
Okay.
Yes. So.
But
sorry.
At that time, was that not the only public traded company? So he was shorting his own company?
Well, Tim, the answer to that is probably something like that, yeah.
So the next question, when was market manipulation first brought around? And the answer is 1609.
Oh, Tim. All right, anyways, I thank you for participating, guys. None of you guys really got it right in the chat. Also, fun fact.
Ace said, well, no, he said after seeing it. Okay. I don't think anyone got that right.
Also, fun fact here, just want to show you that logo is the logo of the Dutch East India Company. So that is that's some history for you. Anyways, Tim.
Okay, that was abrupt. Thank you, Smay, for that factoid of the day. Listen, everybody, if you guys were here throughout the whole show, let's take a look quick before I leave. I told you I'd check in. It's not too far down from where we were. Bitcoin is slightly down from where we were earlier in the show as the markets now are closed. A slight sell-off back towards 84.2. Let's check out this tomorrow as it comes in. I'll say, let's just make sure. Are there any sell signals to keep an eye on here? They're at 5 minute. Let's see if it goes higher. 10 minute. No, a little bit bubble forming, but 15-minute close. That 15 actually might have one. 30-minute. Just want to see if there's any major sell signals to keep an eye on. Not really on the larger time frames. I'll give an edge to the 15-minute chart, which means wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin made its way back down below 84, back towards 83.6, maybe down towards 83.8. But as you guys can see, not necessarily any lower low. So if you're looking to scoop up a little bit more and you're still bullish like I am on that daily and 2-daily chart, maybe some scooping up right in here on 83.6 might not be the worst thing in the world for Bitcoin. Although we'll evaluate, does it go lower? Does it keep going to the upside? All of that will be in tomorrow's live show where we'll have a special guest joining us on the show. Come back tomorrow to find out who it is. With that said, love you guys. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Adios.